Hello, thanks for checking out this AGR review of Without Escape, and don't forget to subscribe and ding that notifications bell if you want to be the first to see our reviews and roundups of the latest and greatest adventure games. Thanks. So Without Escape is, according to the press blurb at least, a point-and-click horror game inspired by classics such as Myst, Night Trap, and The Adventures of Willie Beamish. Now that's a pretty eclectic well of inspiration right there. What exactly can we expect here? A cartoon adventure where you solve incredibly obtuse puzzles in between perving on girlies and their skimpies? And speaking of which, did you see the news about Night Trap actually being re-released on the Nintendo Switch this summer? Has the entire world finally gone batshit mental and given up? Answers in the comments below please. Anyway, returns focus to the game in question, it transpires that Without Escape actually draws comparisons with the likes of Jonathan Brooks' Darkfall series and the rather brilliant Scratchers. It's a first-person horror-themed point-and-click indie adventure, most of which is presented as a static slideshow. You can click around each room to explore it and interact with stuff, and then move instantly to a fresh vantage point by poking a door or whatever. The game's plot is rather simple, or at least it is to begin with. You get home from school to find the whole house deserted, and instead of throwing a drunken orgy for all your classmates, you chow down a disappointing dinner of frozen lasagna, watch the news, and then toddle off for 40 winks. Which of course would then make for a pretty tedious adventure game if you weren't then rudely shaken from your slumber at some ungodly hour by a rather troublesome noise. Was it just some dodgy dream brought on by that cheesy feast, or is something altogether more sinister going on? The nameless protagonist is either pretty bloody brave or incredibly thick, because he doesn't seem particularly bothered by the fact that someone has apparently broken into his home, left creepy messages beside the bed, and nicked the batteries out of the telly remote. Of course, that's absolutely nothing compared with some of the bonkers demonic shit that goes down soon after. Without Escape quickly cranks the craziness levels right up to 11 stupid, and it's here where the game actually really gets interesting. You'll occasionally be treated to a slick looking cutscene, although these are few and far between. Thankfully, any old school or indie adventure fans will be perfectly used to this style of presentation, and the visuals are at least packed with detail and suitably grisly in places. Of course, the limited animation might put off some less forgiving adventure fans, especially anyone who's used to fully rendered 3D environments and complete freedom of movement. Similar adventures, such as the aforementioned Darkfall, managed to tighten our sphincters with just a well-placed creepy sound effect and the simple power of suggestion. And Without Escape can certainly unsettle at times, usually thanks to its well-produced audio. The soundtrack is filled with atmospheric and haunting music, while sharp stabs punctuate any dramatic moments. Whenever freaky things are afoot, you'll generally be treated to what sounds like the game's composer slamming his face into the low notes of a grand piano, or something else that gets the blood pumping. And occasionally you'll hear something unsettling in the background, which is usually more than enough encouragement to get your arse in gear. Unfortunately, Without Escape is rather short and simple to complete. My first playthrough only lasted 18 minutes, and that's with plenty of time spent exploring and d***ing about. Occasionally you'll have to click your way around to find a key that's inexplicably hidden inside of an oven or whatever, but for the most part the puzzles are at least logical. They certainly shouldn't trouble any adventure game veterans. And there are some bonus hidden endings to discover too if you want to actually replay the game. Without Escape is on sale for its first week on Steam, and we'd say if you see it on the cheap, definitely give it a go. It might be a bit rough around the edges and definitely very short indeed, but it's also quite engaging and lovingly crafted. Why not go check out our full Without Escape walkthrough if you want to see more on this title, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding that notifications bell if you want to see our reviews of the latest and greatest adventure games and indie titles. Thanks everyone, love you, bye!